Today's video covers 10 TSA secrets that they definitely do not want you to know. The first thing TSA does not want you to know is that their officers are constantly watching your emotions and your behaviors, and what might seem normal to you might actually flag you as suspicious. TSA agents, or TSO, which stands for Transportation Security Officers, are trained in a special detection method called SPOT. This stands for Screening of Passengers by Observation Techniques. This behavioral profile system teaches agents to observe and analyze passengers as they move through the security checkpoints so they can look for psychological cues rather than relying solely on physical searches. Agents will focus on identifying subtle signs of stress, fear, or deception, which could be things like avoiding eye contact, excessive fidgeting, or sweating. While these behaviors can potentially indicate a threat, many of us naturally exhibit these exact same signs in airport security simply because we're nervous about the process. I've been through the security checkpoint hundreds of times, and I still get just a little bit nervous as I'm lining up. Kinda like how I feel when I film these videos. Let us know down in the video comments if you also feel a little bit nervous or a little bit anxious as you go through the TSA checkpoint. Secret number 2 is that TSA agents use discrete codes to alert their coworkers if they think that you're a potential threat. One common method is marking a passenger's boarding pass with scribbles or codes after it's checked. This is going to indicate to the next officer as you move through the checkpoint that there's something they need to be on the lookout for. In most cases, these marks are going to be simply routine, and they might be something like the timestamp that you went through the checkpoint, or they may be the initials of the security officer that scanned you. However, a notable code that you might find on your boarding pass is SSSS, which stands for Secondary Security Screening Selection. This might be printed on your boarding pass before you even enter the airport screening process. Always check your boarding pass to see if it's printed on it, or if an agent adds the code to it, as this code means that you've been selected for extra screening, which can happen for various reasons, including random selection, booking a one-way international flight, or any other suspicious activity, such as buying a last-minute flight ticket. And if you see this code, be prepared for a more thorough check. A much more thorough check. While this isn't a formal interrogation, the TSA officer may ask you a few additional questions alongside some additional screening procedures. Some typical questions could include: where are you traveling today? What is the purpose of your trip? How long will you be staying? Did you pack your bags yourself? Have your bags been out of your sight? Are you carrying any prohibited items? The main goal of these questions is to assess if your answers are consistent and if you seem nervous or evasive. The process is usually more about physical screening, such as pat-downs, a swabbing for explosives, and a detailed bag check, than it is about the questions that are being asked. TSA agents may also use secret codes to communicate about less appropriate topics, including you. They might have funny code words for attractive or annoying passengers, and you could be the topic of discussion without even knowing it. In 2019, a private Facebook group called TSA Break Room was discovered containing around 18,000 current and former TSA employees. This group became extremely controversial. The posts went beyond simple workplace frustration, with some messages wishing harm on travelers, as well as using derogatory terms to describe them. And if you think that making fun of us is bad, then you will not be happy to know that TSA agents have also been caught stealing from passengers. Not a good look. Secret number 4 is that security bins are chaos zones where your valuables can vanish in seconds. When you're busy removing your shoes, your belt, and your jacket, while also trying to keep your boarding pass handy to get through the line quickly, it's easy to lose track of your belongings. And thieves know this. Items that are put in bins first go through the scanner first, and then are left unattended on the other side of security for the longest time, which puts them at highest risk since this creates the perfect opportunity for theft. And sometimes, the very people that are meant to keep us safe are the ones that are stealing from us. 2 TSA agents were caught on camera stealing from passengers' hand luggage while distracting them during the security screening process at Miami International Airport. And this is just one example of many where TSA agents and fellow passengers have been caught or accused of stealing from passengers. And it's likely that there are many more thieves that continue to get away with it. One of my all-time favorite travel hacks is to use a jacket with multiple pockets as you go through the security checkpoint. Instead of throwing everything into those gray bins separately, Place any small valuable items like your phone, your wallet, your watch, and your passport into your jacket's zippered pocket, and then remove the entire jacket and place it in the bin. This method not only prevents you from forgetting items in bins, but it also keeps your valuables concealed and together, which is going to significantly reduce the risk of theft. Scotty Vest has partnered with me on this video to share their biggest sale of the year, running now through Tuesday, September 9th. You can get 40% off 16 of their best-selling items, including jackets, vests, shirts, and pants. The jacket that I'm wearing here is the Epic Travel Jacket, which comes in styles for both men and women and is one of their best sellers, meaning it's also going to be 40% off this week. And that is a total steal. Click the link in the video description to head to scottyvest.com for more details, and then don't forget to use the code LASTSALE2025 at checkout for that 40% discount. Secret number 5 is that TSA accepts no liability for your belongings unless it's proven that an agent was directly at fault. And good luck proving that. This can be frustrating because while you're following their instructions and answering their questions, your items might be at risk. Unfortunately, there have been cases of theft and damage by both TSA agents and other passengers during the security screening process. And again, there are many more cases where it was never proven that an agent or the TSA in general was at fault. Your items might also be at risk of being confiscated, and you will not be happy to learn what happens to any items that a TSA officer takes from you during the screening process. Even if an item is technically allowed according to official TSA guidelines, agents have significant discretion in determining what constitutes as a threat. If they decide something that you're carrying doesn't meet their standards, they can confiscate it on the spot. But the real kicker is that those items that get confiscated don't just get thrown away. No. What happens is much, much worse. The Department of Transportation says that the TSA will hold on to items for a minimum of 30 days before they get thrown away, given away, or, get this, sold. Items that have been taken away at security checkpoints are collected, shipped to other states, and then sold at government surplus stores or online auction sites like govdeals.com for profit. So that expensive Swiss Army knife or designer lighter that was taken from you might be available for someone else to purchase at a fraction of what you paid. Despite being able to search you, confiscate items, and then also question you, many passengers are surprised to find out that TSA agents actually have a lot less power than you would think. Secret number 7 is that TSA agents have significantly less power than most passengers realize. Their main job is detecting potential threats and ensuring compliance with travel regulations while guiding you through the security screening process. This includes actions like checking boarding passes, instructing you on what to place in a bin, and conducting searches if an alarm is triggered. TSA agents can ask you to do routine things like empty your pockets and stand for a body scan. But there's also a lot of things that they can't do. For example, they cannot force a US citizen to unlock their phone or give up their laptop password. They also can't make you put your passport in a security bin, and you are actually allowed to carry it with you through the body scanner. Most importantly, TSA agents are not police officers, and they do not have the authority to arrest you. But if they do discover something illegal, such as illegal drugs, they are legally required to call airport police, who can respond quickly and make an arrest if necessary. And here's a surprising and frankly unsettling fact that most longtime TSA agents are not going to openly share. They've actually seen a lot more of travelers' bodies than most people realize. A lot more. When full-body scanners were first introduced, they didn't include any privacy protections. These early machines produced highly detailed images, basically showing a passenger as if they were unclothed. TSA officers stationed at the checkpoints could see pretty much everything, and at the same time, there were no filters or safeguards to limit what was going to be displayed. This raised a lot of privacy concerns, to put it lightly, and then thankfully it also prompted a change. In 2013, those invasive scanners were pulled from all US airports. Today's machines are designed with privacy in mind, using advanced software that produces a generic, cartoon-like outline of a person rather than a detailed image. So while the technology still helps identify potential security threats, it does so without completely exposing you. If you're still uncomfortable with these scanners, you can always opt for a manual pat-down instead. This is your right as a passenger, which brings us right into the next secret. And while TSA agents have a lot less power than you probably realized, the good news is that you likely have a lot more power than you realized. The next TSA secret is that you have passenger rights, as well as specific rights during TSA pat-downs that agents are not going out of their way to tell you about. If you are selected for a pat-down, you have the right to request a private screening area instead of being searched in public. You also have the right to have a companion or a witness present during this private screening. Additionally, you can request that the pat-down be conducted by an officer of the same gender. If you experience discomfort, or if you believe an agent is being inappropriate during a pat-down, you have the right to ask for a supervisor and stop the process immediately. Many passengers don't realize that they can also ask a TSA agent to change their gloves before conducting a pat-down, although the agent is probably going to be a little bit annoyed if you do this. On a less empowering note, TSA may actually be rummaging through your belongings without you even knowing about it. The next TSA secret is that your checked luggage is likely being searched without your knowledge. TSA is required by law to scan every bag on a commercial airport. If something suspicious is detected, or if one of the dogs signals something, a TSA agent is required to open your bag and have a look. Ollie would find all the treats, or he would be taking a nap and be completely useless. According to the TSA, about 5% of checked bags require a physical inspection by an agent, while the rest are going to be cleared by electronic screening. In the case where a manual inspection is required, agents will cut locks that are not TSA friendly, and even cut open suitcases if they are wrapped in plastic. It's good to know that if your bag is inspected, agents are required to place a note inside indicating that it was searched. If you notice that the lock on your luggage was cut, or you see any other signs of tampering without a note inside your suitcase, it could mean that an agent did not follow protocol or that someone unauthorized accessed your bag. TSA tracks all inspections using the barcode on your airline bag tag, so always report any suspicious activity or any damaged or missing items, even if you don't find a note. You'll definitely want to watch the video on the screen as well as linked in the description next, as I break down a ton of other shocking airport secrets beyond the security checkpoint that you'll want to know about before the next time you fly. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join Ollie and I back here for more travel tips each week, and I will see you in that next video soon. Bye.